So what we did yesterday, finding the greatest common factor, that now becomes like step one. So you want to make sure that if there is a greatest common factor, you want to divide that out before we start doing any of these other methods that we're about to learn. Okay? The first couple of ones don't have one. You'll notice on the back towards the end, that's when we're going to apply yesterday and today together. Okay? But let's get today's strategy down first. So factoring trinomials. So a trinomial has three pieces, right? In the form of x squared plus bx plus c, okay? Technically, there's an a right here. Today, your a is going to be, 1 every single time. Tomorrow, that a is not going to be a 1. It's going to be something else. So when it's something else, there's a different method we're going to go with, okay? But today, our a is going to be 1. Okay? So when that happens, and we have three pieces, okay, I call this basic factoring. You want to find two integers that multiply to give you the last number and add to give you the middle number. So that's when I draw the X box, okay? So we need two numbers that multiply to equal the C value, which is the number on the end, and they need to add together to equal the B value in the middle. Okay, eventually you'll be able to do this mentally, but for my visual people, then we have this to see each time. If you need it, go for it. Eventually you might be able to do it without it. Okay, so our first one, we have x squared. Oh, and just like yesterday, I'm going to do odds and you'll do evens, okay? Our first one, we have x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay, so our C value this time is the 12. Our B value in the middle is the 7. So we're trying to think of two numbers that multiply to give you the number 12, but they also add together to give you 7. Okay? So let's list my factors of 12. I could do what? I could do 1 times 12. I could do 2 and 6. I can do 3 and 4, right? Could any of those also add up to give me a 7? 3 and 4, right? A positive 3 and a positive 4. They're both positive, right? So when I write my answer, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to write it in factored form. Remember, we're going backwards. We are dividing, okay? We're going to write it as a product. So this came from x plus 3 and x plus 4. What we're doing today, remember foiling? First, outer, inner, last? We are undoing that today. So factoring and foiling are inverses of each other. Foiling was how we multiplied. Factoring is how we're going to divide. Okay, so we're writing it back into factored form. If I FOIL this, x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, 3 times x is 3x, 4x plus 3x, there's my 7x, right? And then 3 times 4 gives me 12. So you can always check yourself by multiplying to work your way back to see if you get the right answer. That is the answer. Yep, this is our goal. Our goal is to get it back into factored form. So you want 2 sets of parentheses. That's it? That's all you do. Are you sure? For now. No. Yes. For now, that's what you do.
Giving it to us slowly.
Yes. Yes, slowly getting there. All right, so number 3. Let me clear my X box. All right. So number 3, let's do one more together. H squared plus 9h plus 18, 3 pieces. My C value is 18, so my numbers have to multiply to give me 18, but they have to add together to give me 9. Okay. 6 and 3, 3 and 6.
What about 3? No, I'm going to say 3 and 3.
They have to multiply to give you 18, though. So, yeah, so if you ever get stuck, so it is 6 and 3. If you ever get stuck, write the factors of C. So, in this case, for 18, it's 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Those are your only ones, right? So, if you get stuck, write out your factors and be like, hey, which one of these also add to give me 9? I like that little combo, don't you? +3, +6. And I'm writing the signs on purpose because eventually some of those might be negative. Yes. Okay. So how do I write my answer? Yes. If you had x plus 6 and then x plus 3, you're not wrong. Because multiplying you can do in the order, right? Oh, I guess technically we should use an h. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Technically, I should keep the variable the same. Thank you, Memphis.
And like the exponent just stays the same with rule 2.
So the 2 shows me I'm separating it into 2 factors. If there was ever a 3, which it won't happen today, but maybe later, that shows 3 pieces. All right, how about you try number 5? You try number 5. K squared plus 6k plus 5. So you're trying number 5. So multiply, add. 2 numbers to multiply to give you 5, but add together to give you 6.
Change 2 and 3 because 2 plus 3 equals 5.
But they have to multiply to give you 5. And add to give you 6. I know. We only have one option, don't we? What are the only things that multiply to give you 5? 5 and 1. Is 5 plus 1 also 6? Yes. So +5, +1. +5, +1. Okay. Number 7. Do we see how there's a negative now? So now we need 2 numbers to multiply to give me -18. Okay? But they have to add to give me a +3. So -18, add to give me a 3, right? This is my multiply, this is my add. So we like the 6 and 3 option, right? So let's think about it. We like 6 and 3. Do I want 6 minus 3, or do we want 3 minus 6? It has to give me a +3, right? So 6 minus 3, see how this one gives me a +3? So 6 minus 3. So 6 times -3 gives me -18, and then 6 minus 3 is 3. So those are my 2 factors. We're using an n this time, n plus 6, and n minus 3. Okay. If your C value is a negative, you're going to have a positive and a negative, right? That's the only way to multiply to get a negative value. Okay. If your last number is a positive, then you either have 2 positives or 2 negatives. Okay, so your signs are the same if you have a positive on the end. Your signs are opposite if you have a negative on the end. Okay. And that's just multiplying common sense, okay? That's nothing new. You know that. Would you like to try number 9? Okay. Yes, you can do it. Multiply to give you -10, but adds to give you a +3.
But you can't because it's got to add the 3.
Yeah, that's what Teddy's.
They try to get me, but they couldn't.
If you're going to disrupt my class, then you can leave again. Thank you. I am recording this lesson actively right now. Yep. In a minute. What do you have? What you got? Okay. He has +5 and -2. Do we agree? Yeah. Let's check it. Is 5 times -2 -10? Yes. Is 5 minus 2 positive 3? Yes. So it is G plus 5 and G minus 2. So think of these as like puzzles. Everyone likes puzzles, right? Puzzles, riddles. Okay, it's like a math riddle.
I do like riddles, but.
Okay. How about you also try number 11? Try number 11. C squared plus 4C minus 45. So yeah, so if you need to make your list of factors on the side to help, do it. Like 1 and 45, 2 and nothing. What is that? 3 and 15, 4 and nothing, 5 and 9. No, it's 9 and 5. Okay, so those are your only sets, right? So then look at each of those pairs and think which one of those could somehow give me a 4.
So it's gonna add to give you a 4.
Mm-hmm. So,
5 and negative 9.
right, the 5 and 9 we like, right? So, right, you want a positive 4. So once you've determined which combo it is, okay, 5 minus 9 or 9 minus 5, right? We want a positive 4 out of it.
9 minus 5.
So it's going to be the 9 minus 5. So C, there's your positive 9, and then there's your negative 5. All right. All right, so 10 and 3 pops in. Okay. Okay. So they said some kind of a 10 and some kind of a 3. One of those has to be negative, right? What? We want a positive 7. So am I going to do 10 minus 3 or 3 minus 10? 10 minus 3. So 10 times negative 3 is negative 30. 10 minus 3 gives you that 7 in the middle. Remember, you can always check yourself with these problems by foiling it back out if you wanted to. If you're questioning your answer, you don't have to do it every time. If you're questioning if you did it right or not, you can foil it and check yourself. Okay, here we go. 15. B squared minus 2B minus 63. So I need two numbers to multiply to give me negative 63. Hold on. And add to give me a negative 2. Okay, so they're going to multiply to give me negative 63, but they have to add to give me negative 2. Okay, so 9 and 7 pops in your head with the number 63. Okay, now we want to get negative 2, right? So do we want 9 minus 7 or do we want 7 minus 9? 7 minus 9 gives you that negative 2. Yeah, you got to watch out. So our 7 is positive, but our 9 is negative this time. Okay? Before you write your answer, always double check. Check your boxes. 7 times negative 9 is negative 63. Check. 7 minus 9 is negative 2. Check. So that's what we're going to use. B plus 7, B minus 9. Like that. All right. 64, another kind of big number, right? So it might help to make your list of factors. So we know 1 times 64. What is it? 2 times 32. 3. Does 3 go into that? I don't think so. I think 4 and 16. 5 does not. 6 does not. 7 does not, but 8 does. Okay. So those are all of your factors to give us 64, right? Which one of those could possibly give me a 12 somehow? The 4 and the 16. Good. So my options are going to be either 4 minus 16 or 16 minus 4. There you go. Because did we want a positive or a negative 12? You wanted a negative 12. Okay. So multiplies to give me negative 64. And it added to give me negative 12. So we're going to try positive 4 and negative 16. Again, I'm a visual person, so I like to see this. You don't have to write this down every time. Okay? You don't. I'm a visual person. I like to check myself. 4 times negative 16. That gives me negative 64. Good. 4 minus 16. That gives me negative 12. I'm good. That's how I check myself before I write down my answer. Oh, and it's not an X. It's okay. K plus 4. K minus 16. Like that. Let's see if you were paying attention. If you have K minus 16 and then K plus 4, are you wrong? No. Because we're multiplying, your factors can be switched if you need to. So if you had it written the other way, you are not wrong. You are still good to go. All right. Do you want to try 19? Try 19. Try 19, and I need to adjust attendance. For this one, you should have C plus 2 and C minus 28. So 2 times negative 28 gives you negative 56. 2 minus 28 gives you negative 26. Egg. Ugh, goodness. All right, my next one. This time, my signs are a little bit different. We haven't seen this before. Okay. X squared minus 11x plus 24. So let's think about what multiplies to give me 24. There's 1 and 24. There is 2 and 12. 3 and 8. 4 and 6. Right? Could any of those give me 11 somehow? The 3 and the 8, right? But how do I add those together to get negative 11? They're what? They are both negative. Good. Remember, positive 24 means we either had both positives or both negatives, right? Fun fact, the other sign is what they are. See how it's negative 11? So that tells you they both have to be negative. There's little shortcuts sometimes. So negative 3 times negative 8 gives you positive 24. Negative 3 minus 8 gives you negative 11. Okay. All right, let's see here. So now we have 72. Again, that's a big number, so it might help to see them. So 1 times 72. I think it's 2 times 36. Okay. Can you do 72 divided by 3? Somebody let me know if it works. Does it work?
24, 3, 24.
Okay. Does 4 work? Can you do 72 divided by 4? No?
18.
Oh, 4 and 18. It's okay. 5 does not work. Does 6 work? Okay. 7 does not work. But you said 8 and 9, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So if you have a big number and you're not sure, write your list. And Ms. Douglas didn't have all the factors at the top of her head, did she? I used my calculator via you guys. And we just divided by each number to get my list of factors, okay? So now looking at those pairs, which pair could somehow give you a 17? The 8 and the 9, right? So positive 72 means they're both the same sign. It has to be 2 negatives or 2 positives. If I need a negative 17, they're both going to be negative. Negative 8 minus 9 gives you negative 17. Okay. I would like you to try 25 before we get into multiple variables.
What do you mean by multiple variables?
27 and 29 have, like, 27 is X and Y. 29 is M and N.
Just like,
So I'm going to show you. You try 25 real fast. You try 25. G squared minus 16G plus 48. We know it's G and G, right?
Yeah.
Positive 48, but add to give me a negative, so we know they're both going to be negative.
Oh, shoot.
But what are the numbers going to be? Oh, you can't do that. To get the positive 48, they have to either both be negative or both be positive. Because my middle piece is a negative number, that means they were both negative numbers.
4, negative 12.
4 and 12?
You're right.
Is that what y'all used?
Yeah.
4 and 12? 4 and 12? Good, yes.
No.
Are we good? Was that okay? Are we starting to see patterns? Okay. All right, 27 and 29, they have another variable going on. Go ahead, sir. So because this starts with an X and ends with a Y, that just means each factor starts with an X and ends with a Y. That's all that means. Our numbers we're still going to put our numbers in there. They're just going to be a Y on the end of it. Okay? So don't let the extra variable mess up your process. We're still looking at what multiplies to give me positive 42 and what adds to give me positive 13. So we know they're the same sign, right? To get a positive number, they both have to be positive themselves. And I'm hearing y'all say it. It is 6 and 7. There you go. So it's x plus 6y and x plus 7y. So that's all the extra variable does. You're just going to add it to the end. Okay, that's all that means. So at 29, both factors are going to start with an M, right? And end with an N. Good. All right. This time we have negative 24 on the end. So I know I have to have one positive and one negative. Right? So you can really do that much of your setup before you actually do your numbers. Okay, now you've got to figure out the numbers. Yep. So somehow getting a negative 24 to multiply, but a positive 2 when we add.
I don't know. Because 1 and 1 is.
What do you mean 1 and 1?
To add the 2.
Okay, but focus on the 24 first. Start on the end. Okay? Start on the end because there's limited numbers that multiply to give you 24, right? There's infinite numbers to add to give you 2. So 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, right? Those are your options. Okay? So now look at that list and which one of those can give you a 2 somehow? 4 and 6. Okay? Am I going to do 4 minus 6 or are we going to do 6 minus 4? 6 minus 4, we want that positive 2 in the middle. So 6 minus 4 gives me positive 2. Okay? Yeah, be careful. Always double check yourself because 4 minus 6 would give you the negative 2. So your sign would be wrong. You would almost be there. Okay. Ready to level up? Tie in yesterday with today. Nope. All right, 31. We have 4n squared plus 12n plus 8. So it even gives you a hint. It says look for the GCF first. So this is telling you there is a greatest common factor. Okay? What can I divide all these numbers by? By a 4. I can divide all these by 4. Okay? So that means I have 4 out front, but now we have what? N squared.
Plus 3 and plus 2 plus 2.
There you go.
Oh.
And now we can factor what's in my parentheses. Okay? So what multiplies to give you 2 but adds to give you 3? What's your only option? 2 and 1. Careful, multiplies to give you 2, right? So you only can use 2 and 1. Now, because we had a greatest common factor, it is part of my factors, so it needs to be part of my answer. Okay? Our answer is called factored form. We're showing all the factors of the polynomial. So since 4 was the greatest common factor in the very beginning, it's still part of my answer. If I were to multiply this back out, I need to end up back to my original equation. Okay? If I don't have 4 as part of my answer, if I multiplied it back through, I wouldn't get my original equation back. Okay? So yes, the 4 is important. Yes, the 4 has to be there. All right? Do you want to try 33 or you want to do one more with me? You're trying it? Okay. Good. Go for it. Try number 33. So this bottom section, it does tell you there is a GCF. So there is something you can divide out. Okay. Good. Yeah, so this one we can divide a 3 out of everything. We end up with minus 5 in the middle and plus 4 on the end. So the plus 4 tells you they have to both be the same sign. Okay? Minus 5 in the middle means they are both going to have a minus in front of it. So your only options for 4 are 1 and 4, 2 and 2. 1 and 4 can give you the 5. So negative 4 and negative 1. All right? Try that last one. You can do it. Try the last one. All right. If you're ready, check with me up here. We could divide the whole thing by 2. We're left with b squared plus 5b plus 6. So that's a multiply to give me 6. So that's either a 1 and a 6 or a 2 and a 3. And then I have to add to give me a 5. Now, technically, 1, 6, 2, and 3, those all can give me a 5, right? Yes, no, maybe? Do you agree with me? Yes? But because they both have to be the same sign, I can't use 1 and 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. Negative 1 minus 6 gives me negative 7. That's not going to work. Okay? But 2 plus 3, there's my 5. Okay? So you can so 2's out front. You can have b plus 3 times b plus 2, or you could have 2 out front and then b plus 2 and b plus 3. Remember the parentheses, if you have them switched, you're not wrong. Okay. All right, so questions about our basic factoring today, or my Xbox. Okay.
I don't like it.
Well, tomorrow we're going to do slip and slide. All right, so you are responsible for the evens. So you're going to work on that for the remaining time in our class. If you get it done, let's get stamped.